I'm an educator, and I woke up this morning and what I've been planning on doing is put together a whole series on illuminating your soul. That's a bit of a big project. I'll explain that in a minute. But in this video, what I want to talk to you about is how to expand your consciousness during this wildly contractive time. Things have gotten pretty surreal. I am in Northern California, and so everything's on fire, right? And it's a spiritual practice just to be here in California while all of this is happening. My girlfriend just texted me, actually last night, but I got the text this morning that she had to evacuate her home. My other girlfriend, her friend, um, had to evacuate and came back, and the house was still standing. Everything's shut down. I mean, all of our neighbors' houses are gone. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we have the virus, we have the lockdown, we have the government falling apart. Well, maybe not. Who knows what's happening with that? Confusion. We're in a state of confusion. We are in the midst of a storm. Oh, interesting. It's all happening during an election time. I'm not going to get political because that's not what I'm going to be talking about in this video. What I want to talk about is how to expand your consciousness during these contractive times. But guess what we think? See how I did this? Expand your consciousness. Your consciousness is not up in your head. It's your head that's causing you all your problems. I know, I've been there. I mean, I get there. It's just, it's insanity. Guess where your consciousness is? Your consciousness is in every single cell in your body. You are not your mind. What your mind is really, really good at is telling you lies, actually. That's why people get stuck in fear. And remember, fear is just false evidence appearing extremely real. So, I woke up this morning and I was like, well, I really want to, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do a whole series on the chakra system. Back in 2016, I wrote 9 separate articles, extensive on each, an introduction to the chakra system, and then each chakra and how it relates to our spiritual, emotional, physical maturation, really our spiritual maturation. And these chakras are energy centers in the body. So that's kind of a big project. And I really want to spend some time looking at those blogs that I wrote and then going through each of them in a segmented video sequence. Because what we are being challenged with right now is how to expand during contractive times. And so I was like, I don't have enough time to start that series yet because I haven't sat down and really looked at these articles. They're so beautiful, and they have so much wisdom in them for you. It's worth your while to study the chakra systems. But for today, I was like, well, what am I going to do my live on today? What am I going to talk about in this video? So I got my trusty goddess cards out, right? Oh, interesting. Look at that. Got my trusty goddess cards out here. Got to show you. That's the guardian. You and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. That was an additional message that we just got just now, okay? But these are the goddess cards. And I don't know if you're familiar with them, but anyway, I said, what should I do my live on? And I got this one, which is cycles and rhythms. So Maeve, cycles and rhythms, honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. And what it really spoke to for me was that, and that's why I came up with the title for this video, is how to expand your consciousness during these contractive times. Because I want to remind you that everything goes in cycles. It's the law of nature. It's the law of the universe, where there's an inhale, there's an exhale. Where there's an up, there's a down. Where there's a front, there's a back, okay? And so how to expand your consciousness during these very contractive times is, number one, to understand that there are cycles and rhythms, that we are in the midst of a storm. I know the astrology of it. We are in the midst of a storm right now. And so number one is to hold the awareness that these are cycles and rhythms. And we have to just hold the vision of that there is beautiful calm after this storm, and even pulling that future calm into the storm, knowing almost as if though imagining yourself on in the ocean in a wave, and you're just being overcome by the ocean, but you know that it's going to calm back down again and you'll come back to your center. So hold that awareness during this time. And then number two, really important, connect to the power of your divine feminine. And what that means is the idea that, expand your consciousness. This is very patriarchal to think that our consciousness is sitting up in our head. I want to reiterate this. Your consciousness is in every single cell of your body. Your heart holds consciousness. Your sex organs actually hold a certain consciousness, which collectively and culturally has been cloaked in shame. That's a whole other subject. So your consciousness is not just in your mind. As a matter of fact, that's what trips you up and keeps you from your full embodied consciousness. And the power of your divine feminine. So how do you expand your consciousness during these very contractive times? Number one, know that we are in a wave. There's a storm we're in, and hold a vision for the calm and bring that future calm into the storm. And you do all of that by number two, connecting to your divinity. More importantly, connecting to the power of your divine feminine self. So each and every one of us have both masculine qualities and feminine qualities. So whether you're a man or a woman or anywhere in between, there is a feminine part of you that you can cultivate more of. That is receptivity, that is trusting in the process, that is sensing subtle energies, that is nurturing yourself. These are feminine qualities that will get you through this storm, that will expand your consciousness during these powerfully contractive times. So do you have a morning meditation practice? Have you gone to stillness and gone inward instead of paying attention to everything that's happening out there? Have you created that inner awareness? This is very feminine. Women, we are the innies. Masculine is out. You need to balance that out, all over there with what's going on in here and coming here. This is where the juiciness is. This is where the truth is. So in this video, I have a link that goes to a course. And the course is how to unlock your divine feminine power with love. It will give you actual practices that you can do. Things like shaking off all the tension off of your body. You see, what tension does is it creates body armor. So we become stiff and tight, and we live in our heads, and we don't have access to the richness and the fluidity of our bodies. I just actually did a healing on a woman last night. And it was so powerful to witness this story that many of us have of the story of I'm not good enough. Long story short is I could see how she was up in her head pointing at the situation that was challenging her with somebody else. And we got her to be able to be out of story and connect to that pain in her heart that happened many years ago. The message that she got as a young woman and during her younger years, that she wasn't good enough. And she was able to tap into that part of herself. And we helped her hold it in love. And right before my eyes, what I witnessed was a woman older than me. So this was not a young woman, come alive in her body. I mean, alive, because she wasn't trying to expand her consciousness from her mind. She literally transformed right before my eyes. She started becoming more fluid and sensual and alive, and I could just see the energy, and I literally could feel the energy. There was one point where it was like this old story of I'm not good enough. Literally, I could feel the tingling. It literally got lifted out of her body because the consciousness, that belief system of I'm not good enough, was not only in her mind, but it was in her cells. And we lifted it out. It was so powerful to see, because once we lifted it out, she became sensual. She had this deeper sense of breath in her body. She looked more grounded and calm, and there was this beautiful radiance in her face, because she could connect to the vulnerability, the power of her vulnerability within herself in a very safe, private way. So how do you expand your consciousness during these very contractive times, these challenging times? Number one, know that we go in rhythms and cycles, that we are in the midst of a storm. And know that the storm will be over and there will be better days, and hold that vision. See, I just got confirmed. Just was confirmed. Just confirmed. Just confirmed. We're in the middle of a storm. Hold the vision for better days. Number two, you can hold those visions for better days by doing practices that expand your consciousness, not in your mind, not some, and that was the thing, is she knew that she had this story, I'm not good enough. And so she would mentally say, I love myself, and mentally this and mentally that, all of these different things on a mental construct. But it was when she actually was allowing herself to tap into that part of her pain and in her body that held that belief system, that consciousness of I'm not good enough, not here, but down here. And she was able to hold that pain in love. It lifted that consciousness. And then we seeded her cells with new consciousness that she is good enough. As a matter of fact, she's good and plenty, like the candy bar, good and plenty. You're good and plenty. I'm good and plenty. We're all good and plenty. Yes. So I hope this was helpful. Check out the link in this video. How to unlock your divine feminine power with love. You have to do physical practices, and these aren't hard physical practices. These are practices. This isn't exercising. This is changing your lifestyle to include time going inward. There's a lot outward that's not fun to see. And if you make your reality from what's out there, you're going to miss the powerful transformation that's happening, or could be happening and is happening, but you're just going to go kicking and screaming. Go inward. Bring calm here. That's all an illusion. We're literally going through a spiritual rite of passage. Everything that I've learned in my yoga years or my yoga teachings are actually happening to everybody right now. You're not going to find peace out there. You're not going to find truth out there. You're going to find truth right here. So click that link. Oh, and you'll get 25% off if you use the coupon code 25 off. So click that link, check out the course. It'll give you some beautiful practices to open up your receptivity, to expand your consciousness, not just here, but here. so that you may illuminate your soul. And that's what's actually happening. I'm going to be talking about the chakra systems. So learn about these beautiful, powerful energy centers in your body that are literally being cleaned out and cleansed so that you can connect to your power, your vitality, and your divinity, and the real you that wants to come out. All right, I hope this was helpful. Please share this video to others that are having a hard time staying expansive during these contractive times. We all are. But the more, again, I have to talk about last night. As she became alive, we became alive. We're all in this together. The biggest thing that you can do right now is expand your consciousness, but not here, here. And I can show you how. All right, click the link, check it out, share the video, share the love, share the wisdom, and I'll see you next time. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.